Hi there! Last time you saw me paint the inside of the hull, and now we can proceed with putting the deck on, because I have done all the preparations I need to do before I can put the deck on. And the deck is going to be placed like this. So in order to make this a good tight fit, I will turn the hull upside down and put some pressure on here when I glue it. So let's start with that. To increase the bond strength, I remove paint from the bonding surfaces. I use a 40 grit paper for this. I want to reduce the amount of dust as much as possible, as I do this indoor due to the cold weather. To avoid epoxy from dropping into the hull, I want to work with the hull above the deck. But that means that I also need some way to put pressure on the deck. I need to overcome the gravitation. To get a tight fit, I need to increase the pressure. I will try to do this with ratchet straps. But I need some plastic between the hull and the straps, to not glue the straps permanently to the hull. However, this doesn't work. This will be a better solution. There are still some small gaps, but small enough. The next preparation I need to do is to create a temporary gap to get glue in. I release the pressure and put some sticks in between. This will make it fast to close the gap when the glue is on. Now I can start to prepare the glue. I use cotton additive to thicken the epoxy. Now I can put the glue on the deck and put some plastic in between the hull and the straps. I avoid putting glue on the stick, as it's no use, as I will remove it. The wet epoxy is slippery, so I need to adjust the location of the hull, so that the hull location matches the deck location. To narrow the gap, I put a wedge in under the deck. After a night of curing, I can remove the straps and roll over the hull on the side to check the result. Next up is to remove the excess material. Preferable, this should be done outside, but it's still very cold. Thus, I stay indoors. I try to get a smooth edge all the way. With slow, hard strokes, using a coarse paper, I reduce the dust emission as I round the edge to get a nice lamination later on. I need access to the other side, so that I can trim away the excess here as well. Also here I use the multi-tool, as I like the precision in the cutting, although it's a bit noisy and dust generating. For the inside of the hull I will use epoxy with pigment. This will reduce the need for polyurethane painting in the cramped inside. It's just about it that I can fit my arm, head and mask inside, so that I can fill the gaps in the forward compartment. Having taken care of the inside, I can proceed with the outside. Here I will seal the edge and any remaining gaps with a strip of glass. This will also make the joining much stronger. It's also important that this is done properly, as I won't have any glass over the inside joining. After a few hours I'm back and turn the hull, cutting new strips of glass, so that I can take care of the other edge. I thicken the excess epoxy to overfill the glass on the first side with a second coat. After a few more hours I turn the hull again to overfill the other edge and to fill the inside gaps on the other side. This is the result of this episode. See you next time.